Yes, my people, I'm live again, and this today we have a very funny, a very funny comedy for you guys. Something very funny for um, Today is Thursday, and we have been working. Most of us have been working since Monday. Some of us have been working even before that. And when we work a lot, we need to have some form of entertainment. So today we have something that is serious, but something that is also entertaining for you guys to watch. It is very serious, but it's also entertaining because, as we know, Islam is nothing but a comedy, a stupid comedy, but a very serious comedy. So, before we go any further, I want to say all praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who give us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And as far as we know and we are concerned, Islam is nothing but stupid nonsense. So we have two things to talk about. Uh, we're going to go to Facebook and we're going to talk about a meme written by a Muslim. Actually, it's two memes written by the same Muslim, and we're going to see how the Muslim copy each other and eat and run around with the same stupidity. And also, we are going to look at the Muslim view of heaven, the Muslim view of Jannah, the Muslim view of heaven, the Muslim idea of heaven. And you will see how perverted and nasty the mind of Muhammad and the mind of these Muslims are. Because what Muslim will do, they will look at the secularist world, the world of secular people, and they will say, oh, they come to America and they see a lady going down the street and she's going down the street in something looking like her underwear. And they will actually say that's a Christian woman. That's what they do. They will tell you, oh, that's a Christian woman. The woman didn't tell them that, hey, we are Christians, but they will believe that's a Christian woman. Or they will see a man dress a certain way or whatever, because this is not only about women. And they will say, that's a Christian man. And that's no. If you're not following the Messiah, you're not following the rules, you're not following the law, you cannot be identified as a Christian even though you say you are one. This is not Islam. This is not Islam where, according to Muhammad Ijab, you have Muslim gangsters. Muhammad Ijab say you have Muslim gangsters. There is no Christian gangsters. If you're a gangster, you are not a Christian. And that's the difference between Islam and Christianity. Light and darkness is not associated in Christianity. But in Islam, light, dim light, the wicked dim light, because Satan is transformed into an angel of light. So the dim light is associated with the darkness, the wicked darkness that you could see plain and clear, because Satan cannot hide himself. You know, a leopard cannot change his spot. A zebra cannot change its stripe. You know, you could paint a donkey. You cannot make a donkey a princess or a prince. This is what we're going to reveal today. So I want to say thank you guys, all my subscribers, all my the people who are here today. I've seen Light of the Nation, Larry, Christian, Psalms 23. I've seen that there are other people here who haven't commented. So I thank you guys for watching me, or else I would just be a Jamaican talking to himself. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys. So what we're going to show is the first video. The first video here. Let's see if I make sure that I find it so that I'm sharing the first video. Okay. So this is the first video that I'm going to share. And you're going to hear this guy called Ijaz Ahmed. Ijaz Ahmed is a Muslim apologist, being around, kind of racist guy. talking all kind of racist stuff. You could hear him in videos using racist slur against people. You could tell his mindset is not right. Something is wrong with him. But we're going to show him, the first guy here, and we're going to show you something that this guy says, so that you guys get the background of where we are going. So this video is from my brother, the Great Commission. If you guys have time, you could go over and subscribe to his channel. I could give you the link to his channel, and you could go over and subscribe to his channel. So this is from the brother channel, the Great Commission. And just going to play a small clip of what goes on over there. So you see, I send you the link there if you want to subscribe to his channel. That would be appreciated by him, I'm sure. Okay, so here we go. The first thing we're going to play.
Shalom and welcome to TGC. In this video, we see Robin, a Christian man, calls into the show to discuss the difference between the Christian view of heaven and the Islamic view of heaven. As you will see, the response given by the Muslim guy.
So this is a Muslim guy go by Ijaz the Trini. So he's from Trinidad, and I'm from Jamaica. We as a Jamaican, we love our Caribbean brothers. We love all people, but we love our Caribbean brothers. Sometimes there is vibes going on between Jamaican and Trinidadian, because there was a time when Trini believed that their calypso music is better than Jamaican reggae music, which is very stupid to think that way, because calypso music is not as advanced as reggae music is. You will see all the music that comes from reggae music, reggaeton, and all these music come from reggae music. You see reggae music is all over the globe. A small country like Jamaica make a music that goes all over the globe. And there was a time when we compete in like track and field, and there was Atta Bolden, who was a terrific sprinter, and back in the days he was whooping on the Jamaicans. But Jamaican have advanced in track and field because Jamaican women were always good in track and field, but Jamaican men were not always good. There was Donald Curry, and after Donald Curry, there was not much Jamaican men who were very good at sprinting. But then came Usain Bolt and Rowan Blake and Asafa Powell and people like those, and changed the game. So now we look forward to see great Jamaicans sprinting in the men division, but we always have the women who represent. So, we are competitive. Trinidadian and Jamaican, we compete against each other in a lot of ways. But, I, for one, love all Caribbean people. When I see Caribbean people, I can relate to them. We can talk about food and different things. But anyway, so this guy is called Ijaz the Trini. And you will hear what this guy say when they talk about the Christian version of heaven versus the Muslim version of heaven. You're going to hear what he pop up and say. And notice who is here is Daniel Ikikachu. Daniel Ikikachu told us that he told his wife that a woman should never go to work. A woman should never work. And what he says, he met his wife in Harvard University. Harvard University is high-class university, and he met his wife at Harvard and told his wife, no, you shouldn't work, and his wife agreed with him. That's why I tell you, man, his wife agreed with him that he should work. So you see, Islam give these guys a room to dominate women and to make of women things that God didn't want man to make of women. So a woman should not work. where the Bible tells you that a woman should not work. The Bible never tells you that a woman should not work. So I don't know why it's this craziness. But Islam literally tell you that a woman should not work in a sense, because there's a Quran verse that says the man is in charge of the woman because of what he spent on the woman. And if a woman is working, some women are doctors, some women are lawyers, some women are CEOs and all these high-paying jobs. So if you are a man and you go out there with a regular 9 to 5 and you're making $20 an hour, just put it that way, and your wife is making $200 an hour, how does that Quran verse make any sense? That men are in charge of women because of what they spend from their wealth. The Quran verse doesn't make no sense. You will see that Muhammad idea was just something from the desert, and his God is the idea of his God came from his head, and he could not see beyond the desert. And even though Khadija was a merchant, who knows what was the agreement between her and Muhammad, and she owned business. Who know what the agreement between her and Muhammad was? We don't know. So she may have turned over all she owned into Muhammad's hand. Who knows? We don't know. But we know today that verse doesn't make any sense, because a man cannot be in charge of a woman because of the wealth that she spent on the woman, because there are many women who are making more money in the household than their husbands are. So how does that work out? You know, I remember there were times when my wife made more money than I do. So I don't know how would that work out? You know, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, let's continue.
So there is a huge difference between the two of them. So they are mutually exclusive. So one is right and one is wrong. Do you agree with me on that?
And do you notice that he pop up just in time he turn off on the camera just in time to make his stupid comment?
Yeah, yours is wrong. Ours is right. Too much.
He says yours is wrong and ours is right. So the guy said, "Can you, one is wrong, one is right. Can you tell? What do you have to say about that?" So he pop up just in time, like a little bug. You get, so he pop up just in time like a little bug, and he says, yours is wrong and ours is right. And listen to what he's gonna say. And this is why you see he's not thinking with his big head. He's not. He's thinking with another head, but not his big head. As we see, look at this.
Yeah. Okay,
like I'm just gonna be honest. Christian heaven doesn't sound that fun. I'm just gonna be honest. As a man, Islamic heaven really appeals to me. Alhamdulillah.
He said, as a man, Islamic heaven really appealed to him. As a man, and then he said, Alhamdulillah. Can you imagine? You're thinking about this is the morality of Islam. You could tell that this guy is thinking about sexual craziness, and his God is in the middle in his mind. Alhamdulillah. Like me, I'm a man, and I pray for sexual craziness to be far from me. But this clown is thinking about sexual craziness and smiling, and look at them, all of them. 1, 2, the red donkey, he's smiling with his hand over his mouth. And this is a married man. And this is a married man. Look at him. And then this, I don't even know if this guy is married. But he says the Muslim heaven appealed to him more because as a man, because he is a man. Literally, that's what he says. Listen to him.
Alhamdulillah. That's what I'll say. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Islamic heaven really appeals to me. Alhamdulillah. That's all
Wow.
I'll say. To be honest. As a man, Islamic heaven really appeals to me. Alhamdulillah.
Wow. As a man, Islamic, do you see the mindset of these clowns? When they think about women, because what is this clown thinking about? As a woman, does the Christian, if he was a woman, would he say the same thing? If he was a woman, would he say, as a woman, the Islamic heaven really appealed to me? Alhamdulillah. Would he say that? No, he would not. Because what is it that make the Islamic heaven so appealing to this clown? What is it?
Islamic heaven really appeals to me. Alhamdulillah. That's all I'll say. As a man, Islamic heaven really appeals to me. Alhamdulillah.
As a man. But if he was a woman, what do you see this kind of, you know, if he was a woman, how would it appeal to him? How would it appeal to him if he was a woman? As a man, the Islamic heaven really appealed to me. Alhamdulillah. Now let's get into something. Let's show you why the Islamic heaven appealed to this clown. Let's show you why the Islamic heaven appealed to him. So we're gonna take a journey into something and show you why the Islamic heaven appealed to this guy. So let me share a video with you of I think this guy is a sheikh in Pakistan, a Muslim sheikh in Pakistan, and we're gonna see why Islamic heaven appealed to these Muslims. Thank you, my brothers and sisters, for being here. James 1, verse 19. Thank you for being here. Crunchy. Steve Lovett, thank you. Daniel Alvarez, thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, guys. Light of the Nation, Larry. Psalms 23, everyone who is here. And all who haven't commented, thank you, guys. But anyway, let's share this video and we will see. This is a family affair. So let's share this video and I will show you why this guy, what goes on in the mind of these Muslims. And don't forget, and don't be fooled. You will see them talking about the West, how bad the West is. But if you guys go into Google and put countries that watch the most porn, guess what? 7 of the top, in the top 7 countries, 6 of them are Muslim countries. I'm telling you, go do it now. Anytime. You put countries that watch the most porn, and I tell you, 6 of the top 7, 6 out of the top 7 are Muslim countries. Pakistan leading the way. Pakistan leading the way. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's share this video. So I got to read so that for the people who can to follow it, it's very difficult following the caption. So I will stop and read so you can see it yourself, and I will stop and read so you guys can see. So this is from Aris Sultan, and Aris Sultan was once a Muslim, and he became atheist. But he was once a Muslim. I subscribe to his channel on my because sometimes his content reveal Islam so much. I don't choose an atheist over Islam because they are on the same level. But his channel have so much content for you to as an apologist to look into and do your own research. And this is one of his video. So his name is Aris Sultan. If you guys want to subscribe, you could subscribe. On my other channel, I have already subscribed to his channel on my other channel. So let's get into this. So from the caption here, let's go back a little bit so that you guys see.
Life. So have a look. We got a very interesting excerpt out of one of his many speeches on Houris.
So let's kind of go.
Biggest flaw.
Let's go back and so that he could tell you who this man is, because he speaks the language of this man. So,
and he's nice because he sells. he's kind of like an Islamic pimp. You know, he tells you not Islamic pimp. No, I shouldn't say that. He's actually an afterlife pimp. He tells you the kind of women you're going to get in future in your.
So you see the mind of these men. Do you see the mind of these Islamic men? You know, as a man, and we once was a young man doing things that I wasn't supposed to do. You know, you knowing God and have the fear for God, you want to change. You see the evil that you're doing, and you want to change your life. You know, you want to do better. You want to be pleasing in God's sight. And when it comes to women and sex and all this stuff, you just want to be clean. Either you have no sex at all, or you have sex through marriage. That's the idea I had when I was out there in the world doing my stuff. You know, I feel ashamed of what I did. When I did what I did, I feel ashamed. But there are Bible verses that I used to look at and say, wow, this is actually talking about me. Where Paul says that he have like this inner war where he want to do good, but the evil desire is overwhelming, and only through Christ he could do good. Only through Christ he could do achieve that goodness, and only through obedience to Christ I could achieve that goodness. And obedient to Christ come through the Holy Spirit that enables me to be obedient to Christ. I could achieve that place where, hey, I don't want to do those crazy stuff no more. But can you imagine these Muslims actually, because of Muhammad and his worthless idea, this Muslim actually thinking about doing what we don't want to do in this life in their paradise. How is that paradise? The most happy I've ever been in my life is when I'm living this life that I'm living. The other life was not happy at all. The running around and the hunting down and the crazy life was never happy life. It was crazy life. That was a devilish life. But look at these clowns glorifying this kind of life that Christians are running from and don't want to be a part of. Real Christians. We're not talking about fake Christians and these fake pastors that pretend to be pastors in Nigeria, Jamaica, and even here in the United States and all over the world. We're talking about real Christianity, real conviction, real want to be like the Messiah, real want to be holy and to follow the law of the Messiah. Watch this.
Afterlife. So have a look. We got a very interesting excerpt out of one of his many speeches on Houris. Houris you get in.
And you know what Houris is? Houris is the virgin, the prostitute that you will get in Allah's Jannah, the whores that you will get in Allah's Jannah. And it's so crazy that Muhammad told them that all the Houris will look alike. So your Houris will look like the other Muslims' Houris. So guess what? You maybe can't even tell your Houris apart from the other Muslim Houris. So you will be having sex with the other Muslim Houris. We will show you actually from another video that he has done that this is what Muhammad says. That all of them will resemble each other. Can you imagine that? You identical women just walking around and you don't even know your woman. You may not even know which woman is yours. This is this is a brothel. This is not something that anyone. I read a poem once and I can't remember what the poem was, title was, but it says one woman is a gift something like that. If I find the poem, one woman is a gift, and he says, I think he says, more than one woman is hell's gate. I think that's what the poem says. One woman is a gift, more than one, or something like that, is hell's gate. It was back in the days when I used to write poetry and read poetry. I read that.
Heaven.
मैंने जो एक दफा जन्नत का महल देख
He said, once I saw a palace in heaven. So he having a dream or something. He said, once I saw a palace in heaven that had the properties just as I had read in the books, in the Islamic books. He says he saw a palace in heaven that have the properties just like he read it in the Islamic books.
देखा ख्वाब में, तो ये उसकी मैंने सिफत जो पड़ी थी वो मैंने आंखों से देखी कि मैं उसके अंदर
You notice the music behind it? Oh, Salem. I was walking in a gallery and I could see it both from the inside and outside at the same time. I could see it up and down, left and right. Look at his eyes, my friends, and tell me, what do you see in his eye? Hopeless, blank hopelessness. No light, no love, no warmth. Just blank, like he's lost, he's gone. He's gone. Something, a mental problem.
चल रहा था, मुझे बाहर भी नजर आ रहा था और ऊपर भी नजर आ रहा था और दाएं बाएं भी नजर आ रहा था, लेकिन मैं एक गैलरी में चल रहा था और उसका जो
There was so much light coming through the floor tiles. So much light coming through the floor tiles, it looked as if there was a sun underneath each tile. So the tile on the floor looked like there's a sun under each of the tile. Wow. Glowing like, wow, man.
फर्श था, मुझे लगता था हर फर्श की टाइल के नीचे सूरज निकला हुआ है, इस तरह उसमें से रोशनियां निकल रही थी, रोशनियां निकल रही थी। मैं हूर को बयान करता हूँ।
Let me describe a hori. So he's going to describe one of the virgins, one of the whore in this heaven, as described by Ibn Qayyim. But what I saw, I can't describe it. So what he saw is do you see what going through these clowns' mind? Do you see what going through these clowns' mind? And this is why Ijaz Ahmed could say the Islamic heaven, as a man, the Islamic heaven appealed to him more. Wow. He said he can't describe what he saw.
जो इब्नुल क़य्यिम ने लिखा है, लेकिन जो मैंने देखी है वो मैं बयान नहीं कर सकता। मैं
Look at his eyes, man. I am seeing her. I am still seeing her. Wow. You know that it's so crazy, man. The person who the immoral person who they follow. Muhammad once go to his adopted son's wife house, saw the woman, look at the woman, lust after the woman, end up with the woman. Then one day Muhammad was out on the street with his companion and a woman walked by. And Muhammad looked at the woman and he could not control his sexual desire. So he ran home to the very wife he stole from his adopted son and he had sex with her, Zainab. He had sex with her. Then he came back to his companion and he said to his companions, the woman retired like the devil. So when any of you see one of them, you must go home and have sex with your wife to quench, I'm paraphrasing what he says here, to quench that feeling, that desire you have in your mind. Can you imagine that the leader of these clowns could not control himself? He had to run home. If he see a woman, he had to run home to have sex with his wife. What a catastrophe, man. This guy said, I'm still seeing her. Look at his eyes. Wow. Wow. He's in a trance, man. He's still seeing her. Satan dress up as a woman. Satan cross dressing. Because you know Satan is a man and a woman at the same time according to Islam. They say all the jinns are offspring of Iblis, Satan. So he's a man and a woman at the same time. So Satan dress up like a woman and enchant him. Look at his eyes. Gone wherever. He's not in this world at this moment. Look at that. Laughing, man. They all laugh. I'm still seeing her. And they're laughing. What a clown. He said, I swear on my God. How do I describe her beauty? How do I tell you? Wow. Man. No wonder Ijaz Ahmed, if you got this mindset that this clown have, you're gonna be thinking like, oh, the best thing is Islamic heaven. The best thing is the Islamic heaven, because you're thinking with your small head and not your big head. What does the beauty of a woman have to do with the quality of a woman? The beauty of a woman have nothing to do with the quality of a woman. So notice what the clown says. How do I describe her beauty? How do I tell you? There was an incident, man, where Muhammad was encouraging the people to fight the Byzantine. And there was someone who didn't want to go to fight because the reason he gave, according to Tafsir Jalalain, the reason he gave that he didn't want to go fight, he said the Byzantine women, he know the kind of thing that the Byzantine women did to his mind, you know, he knows what they did to his mind. So he don't want to go fight because he know what the Byzantine women is doing to his mind. He don't want to go there because he believe in his mind that he could not be kind to the Byzantine women. He will be raping them and doing all kind of craziness to them. He actually and Muhammad was telling him like, hey, you need to come. You need to But the thing about it is that in war, they could capture these women and do whatever they feel like with the women. But the man was more moral, have more morality than Muhammad. In his mind, he's saying, I don't want to go to war with the Byzantine because, and this is actually a Quranic verse. This is actually the tafsir of a Quranic verse. You know, so Muhammad is, the guy says he don't want to go to war. And Muhammad is telling him, yeah, you need to go according to the tafsir. You need to go, you need to come. You know, you're a wrongdoer if you don't come. Because the whole Arabian Peninsula, it seems like all men care about in those era was sex. All they care about, the majority, what they care about the most is sex. Idol worshiping and sex. It seems like that's all they care about. Christian Prince said that it was a sex cult. And when you look at the lifestyle of the people, you could tell it was all about sex. It was sex. Muhammad came, and what was his example? Walking around with semen on his clothes. Going around in one round, having sex with all his wife, with only once, after that take one single bath. You see these things. Muhammad was boasting that Jibril gave him a pot of Viagra. You know, the companion of Muhammad was boasting that Muhammad have the sexual strength of 30 men. You see all these things. Do you see, oh, sex was so important to that culture. Even though sex is important to this culture that we are living in, and even I'm not talking about the secular culture, we're even talking about the Christian culture, that sex is important to the Christian culture, but we don't put our mind, we don't put sex as our paramount thing, as a paramount thing. You know, when I see my wife, I would rather have a beautiful conversation with my wife than sex. A beautiful conversation is better than sex to me. But look at these clowns, man. A conversation about God, a conversation about life, a conversation about things that is meaningful. You know? But look, I swear on my God, he's swearing on his God, man. How do I describe her beauty? How do I tell you?
मैं कैसे बताऊं कि वो क्या हुस्न, कैसे बताऊं?
You can't describe him. Believe me, how much do I talk about the heaven? And I only describe the auras as it is written. Man, can you imagine? If somebody if you think about heaven, when I think about heaven, the most beautiful thing I think about heaven is the relationship that I will have with the Messiah, with Christ. That's the relationship. That's the kind of relationship that's the kind of thing that I think about. The relationship that I will have with the Messiah, the closeness with the Messiah. That's what I think about. The closeness with God. Look, look what he's thinking about as a man. And then the clown Ijaz says the Islamic heaven appealed to him as a man. What kind of man is Ijaz? Is he a mouse or a man? What kind of man is that guy? Real men think about real issues. Real issues, real men think about real issues, and sex is secondary in the life of a real man. If real men get up every day and think about sex, they would not accomplish anything. But look at this. This man is selling sex, man. He's a pimp.
यकीन मानो मैं कितना जन्नत को बोलता हूँ.
You know, one of the reasons I don't watch like Beyonce songs and these people's songs is because of the way they dress. You know, because some of their songs are meaningful, but I don't watch the video of their songs because what? The way they dress. The way they dress. Like you know, the way they dress. I don't watch their music because of the way they dress. But can you imagine? This man is thinking about the beauty and how he saw her or, and if he says he is described, and I only describe the auras as it's written. How it is written, Muhammad said those women are transparent women. You can see through them. And can you imagine? I don't want to watch Beyonce video and I can't see through Beyonce. You could see through them and you could see everything that's on their inside. Every vein, every vessel. Even their liver you can see. Man, what a religion, man. A religion of dumbness.
और मैं जन्नत के हूरों को बोलता हूँ जो लिखा हुआ है, लेकिन जो अल्लाह ने मुझे दिखाया.
This is the most life I see in his eyes so far when he's talking about these auras. But what my God showed me, so his God showed him this. Do you see what this is? This is from God. So you know who their God are. According to Christian, who is the Muslim God? Satan. Because when you look at what the Bible says, You know, when you look at what the Bible says, you see that this is straight from Satan. Straight from Satan. Now let me read a Bible verse for you. 1 Corinthians 6 verse 9. Or do you not know that the wrongdoers will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived, neither the sexually immoral, nor the idolaters, or adulterers, nor men who have sex with men. But guess what? If you should look at the Islamic, who is going to inherit the Islamic heaven? Let's read some hadith for you guys, so you guys see who go to the Islamic heaven. There would come people amongst the Muslims on the day of resurrection with as heavy sin as a mountain, and Allah will forgive them, and he will place in their stead the Jews and the Christians. And this is from Sahih Muslim 2769D, 67D. Sahih Muslim 2767D, Book 50, Hadith 60. So you have sin heavy like mountain. You come on that day with sin heavy like mountain, and guess what? You will be forgiven on that day, and you end up in paradise having sex. Sin as heavy as mountain. And who are these people with sin as heavy as mountain according to Islam? Who are these people? Let's read another hadith that tells you that no Muslim whatsoever, don't care how heavy their sins are, will die, will go to hell. No Muslim, they won't stay in hell. Even if they go there, they won't stay there. Let me show you what this says. This is Sahih Muslim 2767B. So the one before was 20, let me make sure we are. So the one before was 2767D. Now this one is 27, Sahih Muslim 2767B. And what it says here, no Muslim will die, but Allah will admit in his stead a Jew or Christian in hellfire. So no Muslim, don't care how evil this Muslim is, his sin is piling up high like a mountain, homosexual Muslim. Because the Quran says, and Islam says, only one sin Allah don't forgive, and it's shirk. It's shirk. So you come on the day of judgment, quote unquote judgment, even though we know this is just a mind game and there is no Islamic judgment, is the Messiah shall judge all men. Muhammad is saying that no Muslim will die, but Allah will admit in his stead a Jew and a Christian in hellfire. And we see the other hadith, that the other hadith says, there will come amongst the Muslims on the day of resurrection. There will come people amongst the Muslims on the day of resurrection with as heavy sin as a mountain. So some of these people are, if your sin is heavy as a mountain, homosexuality, all kind of sexual perverseness, all kind of nastiness, because the only sin that Allah does not forgive is shirk. And even shirk, Allah do forgive shirk, because Muhammad committed shirk with the satanic verses. So, so even shirk, Muhammad, Allah will forgive you, because this is a made up, nonsensical, reprobatical, if there's such a word, nasty God. This is what Islamic God is about. Is a nasty invention. But what my God showed me, I don't have any words or smile. Wow. Do you see what enticed these clowns? women beauty and smile. And this is Muhammad's mind. Did you know that during the Battle of Khaybar, there was a beautiful woman called Sapphire, what they consider beautiful, called Sapphire. Sophia, whatever you pronounce it. And she was taken by another Muslim. And Muhammad went to that Muslim when he saw the beauty of the woman. He went to that Muslim and exchanged with that Muslim. I can't remember exactly what the exchange rate was. What was she going for? He exchanged with that Muslim, I think 2 other or 7 other, whatever, but it was more women. And that woman, a Muslim, gave up that pretty woman so that Muhammad could have her. Muhammad didn't even hesitate. That very night, Muhammad was in his camp having sex with her. To the point where a Muslim warrior, a Muslim bandit, a warrior, was around the tent of Muhammad, just keep marching around with his sword ready to kill, because he knew what Muhammad did was stupid, because Muhammad was not a very wise person. And not long after, to show how stupid he was, a woman was able to poison him. He could not keep away from the woman, so a woman was able to poison him. He suffered for 3 years plus, and then he died, just like the Quran said he would die if he was a false prophet. His aorta, feeling his aorta being severed, being cut. Wow. Her smile. Wow. Is this man married? If I'm thinking about the smile, you know, of anyone, any woman, is my wife. My wife. I always do funny things to make her smile. She would pretend as if I can't make her smile, but then at the end she have to smile because it's too funny. She can't help herself. But this guy is thinking about a whore in Jannah's smile.
वो मेरे पास ना लफ्ज है, उसकी मुस्कुराहट हूर.
Look at him. Wow. He's gone. Even now, there's a slight little life in his blank eyes now. These are the kind of people that become suicide bombers because they want to go so much to go get these auras. Look at him, man. And his male audience is laughing. You think there's a woman there laughing? If she was of this world, I would have died. Wow. The guy said, if she was of this world, I would have died. What a beautiful Muslim.
मरी फौती हो जाती, इसलिए मेरे नबी का फरमान है.
That's why my prophet said, Allah has given such beauty to the girls of heaven that if death hadn't died, then your eyes couldn't handle her beauty. Wow. She looked like transparent like a crystal woman. She's like made from crystal, like a glass. And you'll be like, wow, who want to have sex with a transparent woman? I don't know. But as a man, it's not appealing. You're talking about a transparent woman. You could see her kidneys and her heart beating in her chest. Does she eat food? Because if she eat food, you could see the food she eat running to her intestine, running to her stomach, and the feces in her intestine. I'm telling you, man, only in Islam, man. What kind of cultist, nasty religion is this? Wow. Wow, man.
अल्लाह ने जन्नत की लड़की को ऐसा हुस्न और जमाल दिया है, अगर मौत मरना गई होती तो उसको देख के आंखें बर्दाश्त ना करती, कलेजे फट जाते, मर जाते.
Look at that. Your livers would have blown up. Oh, my Father who art in heaven, you would have died. If you see this woman, he blown your liver, man. You end up with cirrhosis. Hepatitis B from seeing her. What a religion, man. People, stay far away from this clownery. This is a religion. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Please let your kingdom come. Your beautiful, nice, clean, decent kingdom. What? This is the opposite of the kingdom of God. Your liver would have blown up if you see this woman. Man, not even your heart, but what your liver got to do with seeing a woman? Your livers would have blown to pieces, man. Like a bomb detonating your liver. What a religion of peace. Your liver would be pieces. Oh, my Father, help us, Lord, in this world. We are depraved. What a religion. Oh, boy. My Father would roll over in his grave to hear this crazy stuff. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Have mercy on us, Lord Jesus. Have mercy on us. Have mercy on the Muslims. Have mercy on them. Man, this is a serious laugh. I'm laughing, but it's so serious, man. Wow. Your liver would have blown up. You would have died. Oh, boy. Do you see why Ijaz Ahmed Ijaz Ahmed love Islamic heaven? There is women there capable of blowing up your liver. If these women were living in this world, they would blow your livers, man. You will see dead men all over the world. And the music is so beautiful. Sorry, people. I can't do better than laugh, man. I didn't watch it. I just choose the video and I said, you know what? This might be something funny. So I'm watching it along with you guys, man. Wow.
तो यहाँ की औरतों के लिए
So he's something for the woman of the earth as well. Note, he said there's something for the women of the earth as well. Earthly women will be, what is it? 70,000 times more beautiful than the girls of heaven. Wow. Where does he get this from? He said there will be 70,000 times more beautiful. Can you imagine if the heavenly woman can blow up your liver, and the earthly woman is going to be 70,000 times more beautiful than the girls of heaven, what can the earthly woman do to you? They would have blow your head off. Your brains will be gone, man. This is a madman, man. This religion create mad people. Wow, what a beautiful man he is.
ये भी बशारत है कि ईमान वाली नेक साले पाक दामन औरत जन्नत की इस हूर से 70,000 गुना ज्यादा खूबसूरत होगी.
But you notice that he's not excited. He's maybe lying because he's not so excited about the earthly woman. You know, why is he talking about the heavenly woman if the earthly woman is going to be more beautiful? 70,000 times more beautiful. Why is it that he spends so much time talking about the earthly one? This guy is not telling the truth, man. Something is wrong with this guy.
70,000 गुना का मतलब होता है ला महदूद.
70 times mean unlimited. So the beauty is 70,000 times mean unlimited. So the beauty is unlimited. 70,000 times is unlimited. Oh boy. If something is 70,000 times more beautiful, that's not unlimited. Oh boy, that's what I'm telling you. Islam make you think. You think, man, take away your brain, man, and you're thinking with your ego and your small head. Oh, there are no children watching this because this is not. What a catastrophe.
All right.
Do you see? Even the guy have to say, all right. Man, do you see what he says there? So that's the reason behind this. Now, I have another video. I have another video that I want to share with you guys, just to show you that it's not just one Muslim preacher that have these ideas. And I will look over some of your comments in a minute. It's not only one Muslim preacher have this stupid idea of what hell is going to be like and what heaven is going to be like. These people have these ideas in their head because the religion of Islam is a man-made religion and it's fit for man, fit for men. You know, it's fit for men. It's not a religion for women. You know, it's a religion that keeps women down and deprives women of their rights, that God-given right that they're created to have. In the Bible, a man is called to love his wife like he loved himself. You know, so if you are a sane person, you love your wife like you love yourself. You know, you know that the love is a grand amount of love, because I do love myself, you know, and I love my wife like I love myself. Then, you know, I'm loving my wife, you know. He said, brother, are you a follower of CP? Yes, I am a follower of CP. I love that, brother. I love CP. CP is a good guy, man. CP is the GOAT. You know, CP is the GOAT. Alrighty, so I'm going to read some of the comments in a minute, but I want to show you another video that will hit you from Chicago to Massachusetts. There's another video that will hit you like a baseball out of the park. So let's go into it, man. These clowns, no wonder the Ijaz, let's play back what Ijaz say so we could see what we are talking about. Let's play back what Ijaz say, because it's what we're actually talking about.
Fun. I'm just going to be honest. As a man, Islamic heaven really appeals to me. Alhamdulillah.
As a man, Islamic heaven really appeals to me. Alhamdulillah. Chicken and ham due to Allah.
That's fun. I'm just going to be honest. As a man, Islamic heaven really appeals to me. Alhamdulillah.
And do you see this clown laughing right here? Alhamdulillah. Islamic heaven appealed to me. Alhamdulillah. Chicken and ham and pork and beef due to Allah. Hey, man. So let me show you another video just to show you the mindset of these Muslims. We're going to show you another video that is mind-boggling. So here we go. And please, if you guys can, subscribe to these channels, because this is what I do. When I share from other channel, you know, it's because, you know, they provide it easy for us to see things, you know. So subscribe to them and help them to grow. As this channel is actually a smaller channel, so subscribe to this brother here. His channel is called Defund the Devil. So here is the channel right here, Defund the Devil, which I agree with, that you need to defund the devil, not the police, but the devil. I agree with that. You can't defund the police. I would not be as safe at work if you defund the police. I love the police. So look into this right here now. This video here, do you see what the title says? Allah provide drugs in paradise. Muslim claim he will, whatever. You know, and this is, so let me actually put the link to this channel. So if you guys feel it in your heart to subscribe to this channel, you can, if you feel it in your heart to do so. Defund the Devil. So this guy channel is Defund the Devil. So there's the link. Now when we're gonna play this video, and you're gonna see the mindset of Muslim, and you tell me these people don't have mental problem. Nobody does.
Things could not get any worse within Islam. We have now came across more problems. If we go over to 41:33 in the Quran, it says here, we are your supporters in this worldly life and in the hereafter. There you will have whatever your soul desires, and there you will have whatever you ask for. And if we scroll down to 41:32, it says, an accommodation from the all-forgiving, most merciful. So Allah's claiming he will reward you with whatever you ask for. Very, very problematic, very vague verse. But now let's get another verse to confirm this. Chapter.
Okay. Okay. So you see why Ijaz Ahmed would love a place like this. Because you could get whatever you ask for, whatever you desire. Look, the Christian God is a father, and God give you what he desire for you to have. Things are done according to the will of God. He give you what he desire for you to have, not what you desire. That's why the Bible says if you ask according to his will, you know, you will receive. You know, you don't get what you desire. Because if man should get what they desire, this world would be a terrible place. If we all should get what we desire. You know, say if we all should get what we desire, especially in this kind of world that we are living in, can you imagine what this world would be like if all men should get what they desire? The evil, corrupted world this place would be. But this is talking about the Islamic heaven. You will get what you desire.
Chapter 16, verse 31. The gardens of eternity, which they will enter, under which rivers flow. In it, they will have whatever they desire. This is how Allah rewards the righteous. Now, is this not bait? Because this seems like bait, right? You know,
Do you notice what the brother said, man? This is critical thinking. This is bait. You could tell this didn't come from God Almighty. This come from a man. Muhammad wanted the people to fight and make him glorious and big. So the people at that time were so naive and so stupid. And we know that the people were so naive. Let me show you why I know that the people were such a naive bunch of people. And they weren't exposed to much. Why do I know that? One of Muhammad's companions says, before the time of Muhammad, he was coming and he saw some monkeys stoning another monkey because the she monkey has committed sexually immorality, commit adultery. And guess what he do? So he was coming from somewhere and he saw some monkeys stoning another monkey for committing adultery. And guess what he do? He stopped and he helped them to stone the monkey. Oh, wow. He stopped and he helped them to stone that monkey. He helped the monkey to stone another monkey for committing adultery. When Muhammad commit adultery and nobody stoned Muhammad, according to Jesus' standard, he that look upon a woman and lust have already commit adultery with her in his heart. Jesus says that in Matthew 5, I think verse 28. Jesus says that. And Muhammad went to his adopted son's house and lusted for his wife and end up with the man's wife. So Muhammad commit adultery. But the Muslim says before Muhammad came along, he saw some monkeys stoning another female monkey because the female monkey, and it's always a female. So what happened to the male monkey that would commit adultery or fornication with the female? Do you see the kind of mindset of the people? So he saw a monkey stoning another monkey, and he helped the monkeys to stone the monkey to death. What is that telling you? That these people's mind were not right mind. They didn't have good mind. Their mind their minds were not right. Aisha even say the believing women suffer more than the unbelieving women. She said she have never seen anyone suffer as much as the believing women. Why? Then did Muhammad add a more godly, God-fearing behavior to these people? No. He had barbarous behavior to these people because they started beating their wives, because Muhammad told them to beat their wife in Surah 4, verse 34. So you see, this whole thing is about man's, what man get, what man do. Even the monkey stoning, the monkeys were stoning the female monkey, not the man monkey. Do you see this stuff? Do you see the behavior of this whole thing and this insanity of this whole thing? Yeah, total insanity.
when you try to bait someone into something and saying, hey, if you do this, I'll give you whatever you want, right?
Sorry about
I think
that.
we're unique because now, as you can see, we are in a studio atmosphere. We're not in a remote atmosphere anymore. But
sorry about that.
That's more
with my new channel. It's I'm not connected to the ad-free thing. My old channel, I am connected to the ad-free thing.
more like a tactic to pull people in. And it's not about doing good just to get to paradise. It now turns into, I'm going to do good to get into paradise so I can get whatever I want. And I'll show you how problematic this verse is. I asked a Muslim, will you be able to get cocaine in paradise? and he told me this.
Here's where it gets worse. Here's where it gets bad. Can I have a ounce of Coke in paradise?
Yeah, man. You can have an ounce of, you can have, wait, let me tell you this. You can have an ounce of Coke, meth, crack, heroin, alcohol, whatever you want. And the reason
And listen to him. At first, it sounds like he was joking, but you're gonna see that he's not joking because he's giving a rationale for this.
The reason for that is simply because your body will not deteriorate, so there won't be any health complications. So what's the issue?
Okay, so I could just be running around getting high in paradise.
Yeah, because your body won't deteriorate. So what's the issue?
Bro, this is
no, answer me though. Answer me though. If your body is eternal and you won't have any health complications, what is the issue?
So do you see this clown? So if on earth right now, we would not have any health complication from taking crack cocaine and heroin and methamphetamine, he would be running around taking it. He's worried about the health complication. Can you imagine if that is the health complication that stop you from taking something? Wow. You don't see that running around being high on something and out of your mind is a bad thing. It's not just that, oh, it can give me a heart attack or it can destroy my kidneys. You know, that's not the only reason this guy would not. Sorry about that. That's not the only reason this guy would not snort crack cocaine or take methamphetamine. Why would you want to be high? I'm born high. I was born high. I don't need no eye. Life is high. Life is my eye. The love of God is my eye. I'm happy, you know, to be in God's care and to be in God's love. You know, my Father, he rules the world. My Father dominates the universe. My Father is the God of heaven and earth. You know, my Father is life. My Father is the God of love who sent my brother and my God to me to die in my stead so that I may live. So these are the things that make you happy and give you the right amount of serotonin in your in your system, and the right amount of epinephrine in your system to make you feel comfortable and aware of your surrounding. Why do you want to be high? This guy say you could smoke crack cocaine or snort crack cocaine or shoot heroin or whatever in Allah's Jannah.
Because it was haram on earth.
But it was haram on earth because of the effects that it has. The effects won't be there on paradise. You won't be able to cause anyone any problems, and you won't be able to do your body any harm. So
wow. So the alcohol, drinking alcohol, you won't be able to do your body any harm. So you're allowed to drink it. Oh, drink and be drunk because it won't do you no harm. And shoot methamphetamine or smoke methamphetamine and it won't do you no harm. You know, you just walking around high as a kite and not doing anyone any harm. Wow. This is Islam for you, man. No wonder these clowns want to go to that kind of paradise. This is, do you call this paradise? Man, my idea, you know, sometimes I go on vacation and I'm somewhere, and like one time I went to was it Destin in Florida, and it was the evening when the sun is orange, You know, the sun is not yellow like and rough as it is in the morning time. The wind is blowing and the sun is orange and it's setting, is going down. And I have an umbrella on the beach, and I'm sitting in a chair, and I'm not thinking about work, I'm not thinking about things, and my mind is at peace. And I know this is nothing compared to heaven, but that feel for the moment, feel a little bit of paradise. That I have a little feel of paradise at that moment. You know, when I'm in Jamaica, I don't feel paradise because I'm a Jamaican. Because you go home, it's not paradise. It's not paradise there for me. It's paradise for the tourists who come there. But when I go places and it's tranquil, I feel as if you know, I'm somewhere peaceful. So your mind is at rest. Your mind, you know. But to be walking around, that's paradise for this clown. How is that paradise, man? You're walking around with your brain floating in, not because you're not beating and killing anyone, you're still out of your head, out of your mind. Islam is madness.
Oh, what's the issue?
So I could just run around paradise, popping E-pills and doing coke.
You can do all kinds of
Bro, are you? Come on, bro. You cannot.
No, but you got to tell me what the problem is. I know it sounds like a lot, but you have to tell me what the problem is. As long as we're in paradise, you cannot kill me because my body is eternal. Your body's eternal. You can't affect me whatsoever. You can't affect yourself. So what's the issue? What does it matter if you're high?
I mean, the issue is that you can do drugs.
Wow. Do you see that? No. And that's not the only person who believe this nonsense. So we are showing you people who believe these kind of Islamic nonsense. And to tell you the truth, that's not the only place where these nonsense. So you see why a clown like Ijaz Ahmed would say he prefer that kind of heaven. That version of heaven, that stupid version of heaven. Now let's show you, let's share another video that that is even more crazy too. You know, just with a similar mindset of this guy. Similar mindset of this guy. Look at this. This video here is from DCCI Ministry. And that Sister Atun Touch, you know, many of us have already subscribed to her. Whoever have not subscribed, please subscribe to her. So when we look here, look at this. What you're gonna see here.
I told you guys so many times. Maybe some of you are hit this in the first time. Wallahi, in Jannah, what do you want? You want girls? Jannah, there's girls. There's girls.
So do you hear what he says? If in Jannah you want girls, in Jannah there is girls. I told you this so many times. And this is the guy they call Dawaman. His name is right here, Dawaman. This guy right here.
Yo, would you want drink? There's rivers of wine. You want yards?
So if you want drink, there is rivers of wine. So he have the same mindset as this clown, the clown before. Because if you're talking about if you want drinks, if the drink there will not affect you like an intoxicant. If this guy believes that the drink is just like drinking a diet Coke or a diet Mountain Dew or a diet or even a regular Pepsi, if this guy believed that the drink is like that, he would not say, if you want drink, there is rivers of wine. So he too have the similar belief that this drink that you'll be drinking in Jannah have alcohol in it, and it can give you the perk and the eye that you need, that make you float, that you need. He said, if you want drink, there is rivers of wine. So they were walking around there drunk. According to these clowns and their mindset, I am drunk and having sex. So Ijaz Ahmed say he prefer the he prefer the Islamic version of heaven than the Christian version, because none of this will happen in the Christian version of heaven. There is no if you want girls, there is girls. If you want this, and then he says, if you want yards, there is yards. I can't remember what yards mean. You know,
Yards. Gold brick, silver brick, gold brick, silver brick.
But do you see the clownery of this stuff? Gold brick, silver brick, gold brick, silver brick. So he's telling you that there's a lot of golds and silver that you could own, and this. What are you going to do with these golds and silver? What do people in heaven do with golds and silver? Do they wear it? Or does it? What do they do with it? Does it make you richer than the other people? If you want brick, you get gold brick, silver brick. What does gold brick, silver brick do in heaven? I don't know. What does it do?
You can chill, you can party, you can rave.
You could chill, you could party, you could rave. Do you see the same mindset? Do you see the same mindset? And look at this little guy here. This little guy look like he's about 16 years old, sitting there listening to this nonsense. That's Islam in a nutshell. That's Islam for you. That's Islam for you. This is the nonsense of Islam. That's Islam for you. Islam for you. Now we're gonna kind of skim through a video and read some things and show you the mindset of Muhammad, because we are showing the mindset of the Muslims, but we haven't shown anything about the mindset of Muhammad so far. So we are going to show that this is all about Muhammad. But let me read some of the comments and stuff, because sometimes I don't pay attention to the comments. So I like to pay attention to the comments. So especially the ones that pertain to what we are talking about here. Okay. Yeah, running a little late today. You're right, my brother. Okay. Shalom, Larry. Light of the Nation. Thank you for being here. So let's see. Blessings to you too, my brother. So Crunchy says, Ijaz Ahmed, being honest, what a understatement. Sex slavery heaven really appeals to him as a man. Yeah. Can you imagine that? You as a man saying, you know, this is the craziness. Like, real men don't think about these things. You know, he's not mature, his brain, something is wrong with him. Great discussion. Thank you, brother. Say he's looking forward to those young, handsome boys in Islamic heaven, because this is actually something Daniel Alvarez. He actually because Muhammad actually mentioned young men in this genre. And some young men, he actually said like pearls or something like that. Boys like pearls or something like that. This is crazy right here. Allah be a pimp and oh man. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here, man. Nice to have you here. So he says, it's all about the booty, brother. It's a heavenly man club. I like this one. It's a Heavenly Man Club. It is like what they call that? What they call those stuff? I remember the name. It's like like you go to a man club. Yes, it's a gentleman's club where you go and stuff like that. We even call it gentleman because there's nothing gentle about these clowns. But it's a night. It's like a nightclub, a man club, where you go and women are free for you at your whatever you want to do if the price is right. That's whatever your heart desire. The Great Commission. In Islam, hell is filled with mostly women. Hell is filled with mostly women, and it seems like the Jannah is filled with mostly women too, because if men will be given so many, one man will be given so many women, then mean there is way more women than men in their Jannah. But guess what? Some of these women are not earthly women. They are women already in that so-called Jannah. I like this one. So gross. Nothing like Jesus. Holy. Very, very. I agree with you. Zainab was not only Muhammad's former daughter-in-law, but also his cousin. Yes, that's true. That sex drive had no filter. I love this one, man. I love this one. All right. Okay. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna show you. I'm gonna need some mod for the channel because this is a bigger channel, and I'm gonna need someone to show me how you go about doing that. I still don't know how. But let's go and show you what Muhammad says, because we have been showing what these Muslims are saying, but we haven't showed anything that Muhammad says. So let us look at what Muhammad says, because it's important that we show the biggest clown. Muhammad is the biggest clown, and it's important that we show what the biggest clown says. the head clown. So let's look at this. So from the same channel, Aris Sultan, subscribe to his channel. As I say, I've already subscribed to his channel on my smaller channel, and I don't know if there's a reason to subscribe from both, but let's do it. But I subscribed to his channel before from the smaller channel. But anyway, so if we look here, let's go back a little bit. So the topic here, what would Muslim women get in heaven? That's what the topic is. But I'm just going, the purpose of this is just quick resource to find what Muhammad says. So Anas narrated that the Prophet SAW said, the believer shall be given in paradise such and such strength in intercourse. So the believer shall be given in paradise such and such strength in intercourse. It was said, O Messenger of Allah, and will he able to do that? He said, he will be given the strength of 100. So in Jannah, you will be given the sexual strength of 100 men. This is why Ijaz Ahmed loved the Arabic, the Islamic heaven than he loved the Christian heaven. Because what? Look at the guy. He looks so weak and puny. Can you imagine? He got the sexual strength of 100 men. He would be walking around looking like rock. He wouldn't look so puny. He would throw his glasses away and start running. La 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 la. They're running like a big clown to this paradise. And the funny thing about all this craziness of this paradise, the paradise, according to this, if there's an Islam website called Islam Q&A. Islam Q&A, I don't remember exactly how, but Islam Q&A, there was a question one time. A Muslim asks a question, and Islam Q&A, a Muslim asks a question, and the question that the Muslim asks is there sexual life, something like that, is there sexual life in paradise? And the Muslim sheikh answered back. The first thing in his answer, he says, a man will be able to be presented in many places at the same time. Let me see if I could find it for you. So, let me see if I find, does sex, here it is. So easy, thank you. Okay, so let me share this with you guys just to show you the mindset of all these Muslims. So it's not only from one source we can get these mindset from. It is coming from multiple sources of Islam. So let me just share this with you real fast and show you the mindset of these people. I don't think I will be able to look at the Facebook part of this thing today. So what I will do tomorrow, when I go live tomorrow, if it is God's will, I will deal with the Facebook issue, and this have more to do with the Bible. So tomorrow we'll be looking into the Bible, which I enjoy more than this clownery right here. So let's because these Muslims are living, they're definite clowns, man. So let's show you something from this website. And you will see the question that is asked right at the top right here. Right at the top right here, you see where it's asked. Does sexual life exist in paradise? So that's the question the person asks. And look at the answer. Look at the answer right here. In paradise, the number one thing, in paradise, what happened? A human being will be able to be present in many places at the same time. What was the question? Does sexual life exist in paradise? Isn't that crazy? So somebody asks you, does sexual life exist in heaven? And you are talking about sexual life, and you said a human being will be able to be presented in many places at the same time. And do you remember the video from Defund the Devil, the Quranic verses that Defund the Devil uses? This is the same Quranic verse that this man used to justify these things. Let me show you. To them, this is Surah 43, verse 71. To them will be passed around dishes and goblets of gold. There will be there all the soul's desire, and all that the eyes delight in, and he shall abide therein. So you see, in this paradise, you have all that the soul desire, and all that your eyes delight in. So this man, if he desire to be in multiple places at the same time, having sex, because the question is, does sexual life exist in paradise? So if he decide, and if you notice this one right here, will you give information about being jealous of the Oris in paradise and the statement of the woman who go to paradise from this world? You know, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. The Oris, man. Why the word Oris sounds so much like whores? Anyway, let's get back to that video. Then we show you what Muhammad is into. We show you what Muhammad is into. So we share. So that's the first thing. Muhammad is telling them that they will have the sexual strength of 100 men. Then here again, and this so let's go back and cite that verse. So this is from let me see what this is from. It's Jami At-Tirmidhi, and this is volume 4, book 12, hadith 2536. So that's what the first one is from. So this one here is from Sahih al-Bukhari 3327, book 60, hadith 20. Hadith 2, sorry. Narrated Abu Hurairah, Allah Messenger said, the first group of people who will enter paradise will be glittering like a full moon, and those who will follow them will glitter like the most brilliant star in the sky. They will not urinate. You will drink wine, but you won't urinate. Relieve nature. You will eat a fish liver, because when I asked Muhammad, what is the first meal of the day? Muhammad said fish liver. I wonder where the byproduct of the fish liver go. I wonder where the waste, not the byproduct, the waste of the fish liver go, and the waste of the alcohol. I wonder where that goes. And you will never spit. You will never have spit, man. Or have any nasal secretion. I could see you're not sick, so you might not have any nasal secretion. But you will never poop. You will be constipated. The combs will be gold, so you have gold comb. And what is the purpose of a gold comb? Of you having a gold comb, and their sweat will smell like musk, so you will not pee, but you will sweat. You see, like Muhammad ate pee, but he didn't mind sweating, but because you will not pee, but you will sweat. So all your excrement, all your secretion that should have come to your kidney will be coming to your sweat. Through your pores. This man, Muhammad, was a mad person, man. He said you will not pee, but you will sweat, and your sweat will smell like musk, but all your waste will come to your skin. Why can't you pee and your pee smell like musk? This guy Muhammad is something else, man. And Muhammad said the earth consume his poop. He told Aisha that the earth consume his poop. So why is it that people don't poop in paradise and the earth consume their poop? The Hollywood will be used in their centers. Their wives will be Oris. So your wife will be turned into a virgin. All of them will look alike. So all your wives will look alike and will resemble their father Adam in stature. Can you imagine all your wife look like Adam? Your wife look like a man, man. Oh man, what a Mohammed, something was wrong with his bloody head. Mohammed, something was wrong with his stupid head. What? Oh man, there it goes. That's the same one there. Do you see this stuff? Does this make any sense to anybody? That doesn't even make any sense to me, man. This is the same one. The first group will glycerin. You will be glittering. Man, why would you be glittering? I don't know. Mohammed, boy. Mohammed was a beautiful guy, man. What is wrong with it? And then this is the example that these people follow. You follow the example of a madman. It's not like somebody saying that this clown is mad. You know? You know, it's not like somebody saying, "Oh, you know what? This clown, Muhammad is mad." Whoever restrain their anger when he is able to implement it, Allah will call him before all of the creation on the day of resurrection, and will give him his choice of any ori. So, listen to this. This is a bribe right here. Whoever restrain his anger when he is able to implement it, Allah will call him before all of creation on the day of resurrection, and will give him his choice of any oris that he wants. So if all the oris will look alike, what's the difference if you choose a oris? If they all look alike, all of them you can see through them, and they all look alike. What's the difference? I don't know. It doesn't even make no sense. Doesn't even make no sense. And this is Sunan Ibn Majah, book 37, hadith 87. Wow. You know what is the difference then? Do you see that this doesn't even make a sense of a dog, man? This don't make the sense of a dog. You know, let me actually let him speak this part so you guys could hear it, because that's so small. So I let him speak this part.
Brothel, I call it brothel Jannah, with alcohol and drinks and whatever you want. That's what triggers some people to go on suicide attacks, blow themselves up.
Wow. That is true. That is true. Brothel Jannah. Allah's brothel.
They don't, because at that point they really don't care. They are absolutely certain that everything they've been, especially the frustration, I'd say incel men specifically, when they've been rebuffed and they couldn't confirm with Western way of how to approach women and accept that they are equals to them, that this could push them over the edge.
Let's wrap this up on the last. Let's wrap it up on the with the last one. So Ibn Majah book, hadith number 39, and it's called a book of abstinence. That's one hell of abstinence. Look at this.
The book of abstinence. Stay away from prostitute now, but you don't really have to stay away from prostitute, because according to Muhammad, no Muslim will die, but Allah will place in their stead the Jew and the Christian in hellfire, and Muslim will come with sins as high as a mountain. The only sin that Allah doesn't forgive is shirk. So at the end of the day, a Muslim could live this life that we are living in now, the world that we are living in. They could live the wicked life that we see in our surrounding. A Muslim could live this life, the wicked life that we see in our surrounding, where prostitution and all this stuff, and still be safe. Still be safe. And then they go off to this Jannah. And you will see what happened in this Jannah.
Why do I feel like the book of abstinence will have no abstinence required whatsoever?
Right. The book of abstinence, that's what they call this hadith, the book of abstinence. And when you look at it, you don't see where Muslims have to abstain from nothing, because it is telling them that you could come on the day of judgment with your sin as high as a mountain, and Allah will forgive you. I sin as a mountain, and Allah will forgive you. So you see why these people love their version of heaven. Actually, say hell, because this is hell. This is not heaven at all.
Eternal, yeah, abstinence now, and look at this. So because Abu Umama narrated, the messenger of God said, everyone that God admits into paradise will be married to 72 wives. 2 of them are Huris, and 70 of his inheritance of the female dwellers of hell. All of them will have libidinous sex organs. What does that mean, libidinous?
So Allah will give them the female dwellers of hell. Allah will take people out of hell and give it to you. Oh man! You see that word? What?
It's like, has it got to do with libido or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Showing excessive. Lustful. Okay. Libidinous sexual organs.
So they will have lustful sexual organs. Inviting sexual organs, man. Oh wow.
Have him, especially when you're 19. Anyway, he will have an ever erect penis.
So Ijaz Ahmed is thinking about his ever erect penis and all these oris in this place called Jannah. That's what Ijaz Ahmed is thinking about. Let's get out of this, man, because this is crazy. This is too much to talk to talk about. But I just want to show you what we are going to look at tomorrow, including other things. But we'll make sure that we look at these first, because this is more important. So if God's will, so we'll look at this tomorrow. So this is let me share this with you real fast, and then I will. Okay, so here is what we're going to be looking at tomorrow. So you will see on this meme, and it is by this guy called Christ Mary's son. He says Jesus lied according to biblical scripture. He said, he said only he has seen God. So he have the verse right here. He said Jacob, Moses, and 73 others have seen God. And he gave the verses here. You know, so we could say a little bit about it, just to show you something. But then tomorrow, what we'll do tomorrow, we'll go into something more deeper in dealing with this, and also to deal with another one of his stupid meme. But if my name is John and my son's name is John, And my son say, no one have seen John. So my son is talking to you, and he's right there in your presence, and he says, no one have seen John. Does it mean that no one have seen my son? Or does it mean that it's possible to mean that no one have seen me? And this is what Jesus is talking about here when he says, no one have seen the Father, because this is actually what the verse says. No one have seen the Father. If we go to the verse, you will see how the verse read. You know, there's corresponding verse that says no one have seen the Father, to show us that when Jesus says no one have seen God, he's talking about God the Father. But that doesn't mean that no one have never seen the Son. So who did Jacob, Moses, and the 73 others seen? They have seen the Son, because Jesus actually says they have seen the Son. He says no one have seen God at any time, but the only begotten is the one who revealed God. So if Jesus is the one who revealed God, who was it that Jacob saw, Moses saw, and the 73 others saw? Jesus. In his pre-incarnated state. They saw him in his pre-incarnated state. And they often saw him as a man. Like we know in Genesis 18, Abraham saw Jesus as a man. And Jesus actually said that Abraham saw him. And the Jews actually say to Jesus, you are not even, I'm paraphrasing, you are not even 50 years old, but you have seen Abraham. And Jesus said to them, before Abraham was born, I am. Before Abraham was born, I am. It could be meant that he's saying before Abraham was born, I am, meaning God. I'm God. But it could also mean before Abraham was born, I exist. So he's showing them that he saw Abraham. He said to them, your father Abraham, you are trying to kill me, but your father Abraham did not do that. The guy said to him, they said to him, you are not yet 50 years old, but you have seen Abraham. And Jesus said to them, he actually said to them, your father Abraham wish or pray to see my day, and he saw it and he was glad. And they said, you are not even 50 years old, but you have seen Abraham. And Jesus didn't say, whoa, I've never seen Abraham. He says, before Abraham was born, I am. As I say, it could mean that he existed before Abraham, which is what it means. Even John the Baptist says, the one, this is the one I'm speaking, I'm paraphrasing. This is the one I'm speaking about, who is above me because he was before me. He's more than I am because he is before me. He exists before me. And we see you can't use John's Christology to call Jesus a liar, because what? John told us that in the beginning was the Word, or the Logos, and the Logos was with God, and the Logos was God. So if the Logos was with God, it's actually telling you that God was with God. That's what it's telling you. If the Logos was God and the Logos was with God, then it's actually telling you that God was with God. So if God was with God and Jesus says, no one has seen God, you must ask yourself, which God is he talking about? Which person of God is he talking about? That's what you should ask yourself. So if no one has seen God, he must be talking about the Father. And does the Bible clarify that and tell us that no one have seen the Father? Yes. There's a verse that actually is a corresponding verse that tell us who Jesus was talking about, because the Bible interprets itself. he says, no one has seen the Father. So I don't know. These Muslims are just crazy people. You know, he's reading something, and what Jesus is saying is that no one have seen the Father, but he says Jesus is saying no one have seen God. You know, even though Jesus did say no one have seen, the Bible did say no one have seen God, but we must know which God, which person of God is he talking about. As I say, if my name is John and my son name is John, if my name is John Wilson and my son name is John Wilson, and someone say no one have seen John Wilson, it doesn't mean that no one have seen, and no one have never seen my son. Everybody could have known my son, but no one know me. Say I'm living in Jamaica and my son is living in the United States, and a lot of people know him because he's popular here. Say he's popular here and he's famous here, and almost everybody know him. But somebody say no one have ever seen John Wilson, and you're looking like, I've seen John Wilson. And somebody said, no, you have never seen John Wilson. Which John Wilson are they talking about? They are talking about John Wilson, the Father. And that's what Jesus says. No one have seen the Father except the one who is from God. Only he has seen the Father. Jesus is talking about no one have seen his Father. So the Father is God and the Son is God. So if no one have seen God, you must ask, which person of God are they talking about? Are they talking about the Son, or are they talking about the Father? So we don't see any problem, but you know, you're dealing with a Muslim, he's always gonna see problem when there is no problem. But look at this. So let me show you something else that he says. This is what we're going to talk about tomorrow. It's an example of why some historians say Muhammad was greater than Jesus. A funeral procession passed in front of the prophet, and he stood up showing care and respect. So Muhammad stood up showing care and respect to a dead man, but he was killing the living. He was murdering the living, but he's showing respect to the dead. Do you see that Muhammad wrote in his Quran 9 verse 29 and Quran 8 verse 12. He says to cut off the head of people and cut off their fingertip. So you can cut off their head and you can cut off their fingertip. But here it is, a funeral procession passed in front of him. So Muhammad, God is the God of the dead. You know, the Christian God is the God of the living. Muhammad, God is the God of the dead. A funeral procession passed in front of the prophet, and he stood up showing care and respect. Yeah, it's a dead person, because Muhammad is also the Grim Reaper. He's killing people. And when he was told by his disciple that it was the coffin of a Jew, he said, was he not a human being, or did he not have a soul? So look at this. Muhammad is standing up, and they told him, oh, he's a Jew. He's already stand up. But guess what? Muhammad was murdering the Jews. Muhammad was murdering the Jews. Look to even to the point where Muhammad was poisoned by a Jew because he was murdering the Jews. What happened why Muhammad got poisoned? He attacked Khaybar, a Jewish settlement, and murdered so many people, and then they poisoned him. Not only that, in the Hadith, Muhammad said, the hour of judgment will not come until the Muslim fight the Jews, and the Jews will hide behind rocks and hide behind trees. So do you see, Muhammad loved a dead Jew than he loved a living Jew. And then look what the clown wrote. Jesus showed insensitivity and lack of respect about the dead. Why should you respect the dead person? A dead person is dead. The only thing left for a dead person is judgment. So all a dead person need to do is to be buried. That's it. That's what it is. When you say respect for the dead, are you going to go and talk bad about the dead? No, you're not going to go and say, oh, the dead is this, this and this and this. Unless he live a wretched life, then you point out his evil life. Just like Muhammad, we pointing out the evil life of Muhammad. But are you going to go and throw a dead person like a rag doll, or do all these things about a dead person like Muhammad did? There was a man who said Muhammad was a pirate and was stealing from him. And when the man died, every time they buried the man, his body came up out of the grave. And we know that Muhammad was the one pulling off that scam. Because they want to say that Allah pulled his body out of the grave. No, Muhammad and his men were pulling that man's body out of the grave. So what respect does Muhammad have over for dead people? He already stand up, so he must make up his crap to make himself look good. He don't know who was in the coffin. But anyway, he says, Jesus showed insensitivity and lack of respect about the dead, even the dead kinsman of one of his disciples. Another disciple said to him, Lord, first let me go and bury my father. But I'm going to show you something. But Jesus told him, follow me and let the dead bury their own dead. So Jesus said, follow him. Let's go save life. Let the people who don't want to follow us bury your father, and let's go save life. So that's a bad thing. Now let us look at something about Muhammad. Let me show you. Let me show you. From the Quran, something about Muhammad. Because this is what we do. This is what we are in the business of doing. So Jesus is telling the man, your father is dead. So let those who do not seek eternal life bury your father. Let the dead, meaning those who do not have the love for eternal life, for salvation, you come with me. Let's go save life. And those who don't have the love for eternal life, let them bury your father, because they are dead. But this Muslim clown have a problem with it. But look at this right here. Let me show you something, because this is what we do here. Let me show you something that is more how Muhammad treat the living, and how. So Muhammad is standing up in salutation to the dead. But look how Muhammad is telling Muslim believers to treat their family member. This is Surah 58, verse 22. You will never find a people who believe in Allah on the last day having affection. What does affection mean? Love. For those who oppose Allah and his messenger, even if they were their fathers and their sons and their brothers and their kindred, including your mother and all that. So you will never have affection for your mother and your father if they oppose Allah and his messenger. You will not have affection for your mother and your father if they oppose Allah and his messenger. And these are living people. So we're not talking about dead people here. We're not talking about dead people. We're talking about living people. So I don't know what this clown is talking about. So he used this hadith. Oh, Muhammad saw a funeral procession and he stood up and said, oh, he got a soul. But here is Muhammad telling you not to love your arm. And look at what Pictal says. Thou wilt not find folks who believe in Allah and the last day loving those who oppose Allah and his messenger, even if they were their fathers, their son, their brethren, and their clan. Do you see that? So I don't know. These Muslims are, I don't know what is wrong with them. I don't know. I don't know what is wrong with these clowns, man. And why do they believe that, you know, the stupidity that they have is better? So Jesus is saying to a man, come with me. Let's go save life. Let's go save life. Let's go. Come with me while I give eternal life to those who need eternal life. It's like you're saying to me, come with me. Let's go. There's a car accident down the street or somewhere. Or there's an earthquake somewhere. And there's people suffering, they need food. And you're saying to me, come, let's go feed the people and let your brothers bury your father. I would go and feed the people. I would go and take care of the living and let those behind bury my father. If I have money to contribute, hey, here is some money. I gotta go take care of those people who are in need. An earthquake, a storm, something is going on. And this is what eternal life is. People in darkness, it is like they are in devastation. They are in a disaster. So Jesus is saying like, hey, come, let's go save the people who are in disaster and let those behind bury your father. And this clown have a problem with that. This clown have a problem with that. But do you see what we see here? Muhammad is saying that you will never find, and if you look at it, this say the same thing, loving those who resist Allah and his messenger. You see the same thing. Befriending those. So you're not befriending, you don't love. Do you see that? Having affection for those. You will not find a people who believe in Allah on the last day having affection for those who oppose Allah and his messenger. Even if they were their fathers, their sons, or their brothers, or their kindred. Do you see that? Do you see that? Because of Muhammad, a man stabbed his common law wife in the stomach and killed her. In the Bible tells you, you and your wife become one flesh. And because of Muhammad, a man stabbed his common law wife in the stomach and killed her. And Muhammad let him go scotch-free. So at the end of the day, what is this clown talking about? But anyway, I want to say, man, all praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And Islam is nothing but stupidity and nonsense. And thank you, Dragon, for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. 13 above, all the people who have been here. John Alexander. I like this one here. Jana, Evan, made to order, Islamic style. Pick and choose what the Sheikh says. Do you see? Arabs' mentality featured the idea of one upmanship, bigger marks, bigger Evan, bigger lies, make the whole package. Right. Totally right there. Let's see what I see a major contradiction. Or is and life in heaven, or is it eternal life in a garden beneath river flow? So is it above in heaven or beneath in the I would have to look into that. It's a monkey business. That's all. Hi to you, Nim Grace. That's all that Muhammad was selling. Monkey business. Monkey business. Real talk. You know, real talk, my brother. Islam is nothing but stupidity. Islam is nothing but stupidity. God bless you too. So let me say what I always say. Let me say what I always say. All praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And as far as we can see right here from what we have been presenting, this is my second live video on this channel. Islam is nothing but stupidity and nonsense. There is nothing about Islam that is worth giving up eternal life for. Nothing. Nothing at all. Playboy Evan. Reality. Foolishness and Muslim follow that nonsense. Do you see that? CP says Islam is stupid for stupid people made by a stupid person. Totally agree. Totally agree. So, as I say, man, peace out, man. And anything you do out here, keep it Jesus. When I say keep it Jesus, keep it within the line of his commandment and his words. Live for Jesus. Not because we call these Muslims clown and donkeys. When I say Muslims, I'm not talking about the regular Muslims. I'm talking about these Dawa donkeys, like the one we feature, you see us feature. Because a regular Muslim just fall into a trap and they just need to find a way out. That's all. But these Dawa donkeys, you see who they are. Can you imagine what these people are selling and thinking that it's better than what exists? For example, did you see what this guy say, that Jesus is a liar? And when you look at it, it's so easy to be explained. Then he go again and says this is why Muhammad was greater than Jesus, because Muhammad saw a funeral procession and show respect for the dead. Muhammad was murdering the living and show respect for the dead. Make no sense. Do you see the mindset of these clowns? And Larry, God bless you, man. Nice to have you as always, brother. I love you. Man, do you see? So anyway, man, peace out, man, and God bless you all, man. And I remember Great Commissioner, subscribe to his channel. There's a brother here, this guy, Great Commissioner. The first video that I share was from his channel. Yeah, the first video that I share was from his channel. Let me see if I can find the link. So this is the first video that I share in the chat, is from his channel. The first what is that link that I share is from his channel. So if you guys go over, subscribe to his channel. A lot of times I go over and watch some of his the thing over on his channel. I got ideas from there, and because we all get ideas from each other, and that's the beauty of Christian apologetic and apologists. We learn from each other, and we all have different way of bringing across a message. So I want to say peace out, man, and God bless you all, man. And remember, I have another channel. I have a channel called Islam. Let me put the name there. Actually, here it is right here. So this is the other channel. Islam is a mess. So Isa is the Muslim version of Jesus. So Islam is a mess. Actually, that's what the channel is. But I use the word, you know, word play here. Isa. Islam is a mess. So Islam is a mess. That's the other channel. So guys, I love you guys and respect. Thank you for coming out, watching me, so I don't talk to myself. And God bless you all, man. And peace out and keep it Jesus.